Now it's time for Gimme the Headlines, presented by Hyundai. We got our final two games here. You know, if you're in the end of the show, we got some newspaper clippings that we can get to you. We may have a headline from your game. And our first game is Texans versus Jaguars. Texans won 30-14. They got their first win of the year. Chris, what is your headline?
Cooking up some Watson.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
You know where I went to that? Because Brandon Cooks had 8 for 161.
Yeah.
Deshaun had 3 touchdowns.
Finally, we've been waiting for this combination. Right?
Exactly right. I mean, we've been hearing about DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray for the last 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And Texans fans were probably like, wait, what about like the offseason moves we made? Can we start to see something out of that? And we did yesterday. I mean, Deshaun Watson looked really good. The pass game itself looked good. I mean, there was a lot of big pass plays down the field. I'll be interested to kind of break that down to see what or if they did anything different from, Bill O'Brien calling the plays.
Yeah.
And they even ran the ball yesterday. That's the other thing, too. David Johnson got in the fold there, had a pretty good day.
Carries, 96 yards.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and Watson spread it around, too. I mean, it was the 12 targets to Cooks, but he threw to 8 different receivers, which was kind of your best-case scenario for that offense.
That's what I was hoping
Watson
it would be.
Can throw it around to a bunch of different dudes.
Right. What proved to be was the offense is just not vast enough to really get wide receiver by committee the ball, all of them the ball. Whoa, sorry there, Nick. But
rough year.
Yeah, I mean, not rough year. But with this group yesterday, we'll see. Maybe this changes. Maybe they do get to find a way to get everybody involved and get Watson on the right track and everything like that. I mean, I'm still concerned about their defense, of course. I don't think it's real good, but they get their first win, and they had a really tough start of the year as far as their schedule is concerned.
Yeah, Kansas City, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Minnesota.
Yeah.
And Minnesota looked really good last
Well, yeah, they caught Minnesota when Minnesota was straightening it out. I mean, Minnesota's kind of figured out how they want to play now. So, yeah, don't just look at the record there and go, oh, they lost to 1-3 Minnesota. That wasn't easy, and you're right. Minnesota could have easily won last week, should have won last night.
There was a moment in this game where Watson threw a pick.
Yeah.
The Jaguars picked it off. They were running it back. Watson ended up making the tackle.
Right.
And it was, I want to point out, a perfect opportunity for a team to start doing rugby in football. That you should teach a defense right now, especially when you have 5 offensive linemen on the field after a turnover.
Yeah.
Defenses should practice the rugby return.
Right.
Laterals. Return it for 6 every time.
Yeah.
It was another missed opportunity for a team to do my rugby lateral kind of.
They're not that type of team can't do it.
Why? The
Because
Jaguars?
they stink. They'll mess it up.
Well, that's fine. It's like, look at it as
You need like the Ravens to do it. You need the Ravens, a team that has even if we mess this rugby crap up,
we'll
still stop them on this series and maybe even get a turnover and try again.
That's true.
Okay, That's just my logic. I don't know.
Defense that gets a turnover, you're like, we might never get a turnover again.
Yeah, right. We got to hold. Let's kneel on the ground.
Give me the headline for Cardinals 30-10 over the Jets.
Red go, green stop. Red go, green stop.
What does that mean?
Red go, green stop.
Red go. Oh, the Cardinals are red.
Right.
The green was the Jets, and they stopped.
You are. Woo!
All right.
That was a bad headline, I guess, if you didn't get it.
Well, it didn't totally click right away.
All right. Well, I wanted to go. I was thinking of the no-fly zone.
Yeah.
With the Jets, because nothing seems to fly in the air. Exciting there.
No.
But
no Sam Darnold for them. Kyler got back on track. Career high 380 yards passing. But what did we really learn from this game, you think?
I don't know if we learned a whole lot from this football game. Even just sitting there, watching it yesterday and everything, I'm not so sure I'm necessarily overly impressed with the Cardinals aspect of the win either. I mean, again, it was late in the third quarter and it was 17-10.
Yeah.
Now they separated themselves because they are the better football team.
Well, DeAndre Hopkins, a couple big plays late.
Right. They got aggressive and kind of pushed the ball down the field. I still have a little of my same concerns with the Cardinals, though. I went in the year going, at the end of last year, I saw enough curveballs, some Cliff Kingsbury and things in the offense to go, okay, it's not just the spread and all that all the time. I just don't see enough of it. And I think that's where I get a little worried about them. It's just, can you get in the shotgun 4 wides and beat every team in football every week? No, there's just got to be a little bit more to the offense. And we've seen in some of their games where they struggle, it's just the passing game's not clicking and everything's not on all cylinders. What else can we work to or go to when that's not, a defense has our, has us down a little bit or has our number here for a quarter or two.
What's going on with Kenyon Drake? I drafted him in fantasy, and it's really troubling. He is worst in the NFL with negative 35 yards over expected. So they look at what you should have got against those dots out there in next gen and what you actually got. He's just not cutting it. What's going on?
Doesn't seem it, and again, they're not the type of offense that's always easy to get in a really great rhythm with as a runner. I mean, we've talked about that. You're always in the shotgun. You're always going sideways. You're doing all that. I think this is the typical, sometimes what you see, college coach who's gone to the pros where the NFL is catching on a little bit, and that's what I'm worried about. It's like 3 games in a row, and I haven't seen this film yet, but just people always seem to be dropping in the right areas to stop certain plays and certain passes. And I think there's really only 1 or 2 runs that they really run as far as their run game's concerned. And I think with all of that, it's kind of catching up to them. So, yeah, they're still a team that's, got to figure some things out. I do look at them. They're dangerous. He's dangerous. But, yeah, it's just I feel like there's defenses are catching on to what they do, Ahmed.
Red go, green stop. Segment over. That was Give Me the Headlines presented by Hyundai.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.